what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
All right. What is it, Tuesday? That means it's the Tuesday night Radio Baloney Live. I'm your host, Richie Baloney. How's everybody doing? Hope you had a good start to your week. And yeah, we got lots on the plate tonight. I've got the dog reveal, the new dog reveal coming up. Everybody's been asking for that, excited about that. That's coming up. Not right now. I'm going to wait till everybody shows up, but it's coming. So what are we talking about tonight? Looks like we already got Jesse in the chat. Good to see you. All right. Hopefully everybody else will join us soon. What are we talking about? What's on the menu? So we're going to talk about Joe Biden. Here's somebody talking about Joe Biden being involved with some money from China. And, there's a lot of stories going around about Biden. We're going to talk about that. I did a little bit of digging into it. We'll take a look at that. We're going to talk about Daniel Penny, of course. So he's been found innocent. We'll talk about some of the rhetoric that's going on around this, the BLM threatening all kinds of violence in New York because they didn't get their way and get an innocent man put in prison. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Canada and just what a joke Canada's become. And they've got people like Rachel Gilmore. The government's calling people like Rachel Gilmore as experts. Just a TikTok leftist dingbat. We've got Pierre Poilievre. We will talk about him. He is tearing Trudeau a new one again. We always enjoyed that, don't we? Because we can't stand Trudeau, right? Sorry, I mean Trugina. Trugina. Or as Trump says, Trugina. I like it. I like how Trump says it. What else we got? We've got, what have I got here? I've got some stats here and stuff for you regarding Trugina. Sorry, Trugina. We've got the Trugina right here. Justin Trudeau, who it's so difficult to actually listen to him talk because he's such a scoundrel, because he's so awful. He's such a demented woke gremlin. But sometimes we do have to listen. We have to do it to honor our ancestors, I'm afraid. We just have to do it. We've got all kinds of random stuff. So we've got dogs that are really good at jumping. We've got 2 angry Indian men fighting, 2 men from India fighting. It's pretty funny. What else we got? We've got some news on Rumble. We've got some Scott Jennings, who's really been on fire on CNN, just destroying the libtards over there. It's been quite enjoyable to see. Is that Mark Cuban? It sure looks like Mark Cuban. I don't know. Is this like an AI thing or something? Because that sure looks like Mark Cuban. And Mark Cuban has been getting weird, but he's been transforming more into Rachel Maddow than that, whatever that is. So anyway, we'll get into that. Let's see. We've got Taylor Lorenz, who feels joy at the CEO of that healthcare company, or the health insurance company, dying. Which, whatever you think about all of that stuff, I don't know. This feels very commie to me. It feels like very revolutionary communist to me. Don't really like it. We've got some memes. Of course, you guys love memes. Lots of memes. We'll get to these. Of course we will. We've got this new Optimus robot from Elon Musk. We'll talk about this. I don't like... How long is it going to be until that thing has some sort of like laser rifle and it's hunting you down? Or me? Or all of us? I don't know. Probably not that long. With technologies these days, it'll probably be next weekend. There'll be an army of them hunting all of us. And then I won't be able to do the show anymore. So we got just lots of random stuff here that we'll go over at the end of the show. Of course, we have the palate cleansers. Oh, what's going on here? Look at this dog. Look at this dog. Should I give you a I'll show you the dog. I made something up. I was going to do, nobody's here yet, but people wanted to see the new dog. So I'll show you the new dog. I made up something for you. There he is. He's adorable. All right. We've got our cooking shows, of course. Various cooking shows. Bruschetta, sandwiches, noodles, and how to make a drink as well, which is always very handy. All right. Well, I guess that's it. I guess we'll just get started. I'll have a sip of ranch juice first, though. And actually, hold on. I just want to check something first. I just want to check the volume here. Yeah, it all seems to be working. Okay, great. All right, let's get into this. So, what do we have here? This interested me, so I took a little bit of a deeper look into it. Remember it. The truth the truth shall set you free, or in your case, maybe not talking about Joe Biden. What is going on here? So he's talking about Joe Biden. That's Dick Morris. Let's see what he has to say.
People say, oh, there's no evidence. Joe Biden, there's no evidence that he's done anything wrong. Yeah, what would you say to that?
What I would say to them is I'd start with the fact that when he left the vice presidency, he was hired by the University of Pennsylvania at a salary of $1 million a year to preside over the Biden Institute for Global Engagement. Never taught a class, never showed up on campus. And then it turned out that program was funded with $54 million of anonymous donations from China.
From China?
So, and he hired among his staff the future Secretary of State Blinken and 9 other people on the payroll of that institute who are now on the national security team. So China funded a farm team, essentially, for the Biden administration. And the president of the United States was on the payroll of China for 4 years and made several $1 million from it. When he left the Senate, his net worth was $29,000, which means he was either honest or dumb. Now, when he entered the presidency, his net worth was over $10 million. And all of that came from bribery.
So I thought we'd take a look into that. I mean, none of it is kind of stuff that you'd be surprised by or you'd put, above Biden. Obviously, we've seen the stuff from the laptop, the 10% for the big guy. So we knew that, how he had never met Hunter Biden's business contacts until we saw photos of him with basically all of them. Oh, so we figured there's something pretty corrupt going on. So I thought I'd just take a look here. So the Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement, that's what he's talking about there, is a think tank affiliated with the University of Pennsylvania, established in Washington, D.C. Its mission involves promoting and protecting the post-World War II international order, focusing on American diplomacy and global engagement. So does that just mean constant forever wars everywhere, forever? The center was officially opened in February 2018 with Joe Biden, then former vice president, leaving its activities. So the center was officially opened in February 2018 with Joe Biden, then former vice president, leading its activities. So let's take a look. Funding from China. According to various reports, pardon me. According to various reports, there has been a significant increase in donations from Chinese sources to the University of Pennsylvania following the announcement of the Penn Biden Center. So somebody in China took a great deal of interest in this for some reason. From 2017 to 2020, the university received around 61 million from Chinese donors, with approximately 22 million of that amount coming from anonymous donors. However, the University of Pennsylvania has stated that the Penn Biden Center itself does not accept any contributions or gifts directly from foreign entities, including China. The budget for the center comes entirely from university funds, So what the okay, so University of Pennsylvania has stated that the Penn Biden Center itself does not accept any contributions or gifts directly from foreign entities, including China. So I guess the money just gets laundered through the university itself. So China gives the money to the university, and then it just funnels it to the Penn Biden Center, which kind of seems like what's happening there, doesn't it? Payments to Joe Biden. Joe Biden was paid by the University of Pennsylvania for his role as the Benjamin Franklin Presidential Practice Professor, and not directly by the Penn Biden Center. Between 2017 and 2019, he was paid more than $900,000, specifically $371,000 in 2017 and $540,000 in 2018 and early 2019. So this is not quite what not quite what Mr. Morris was saying in that other video, but he's kind of, it's not, he doesn't have it exact, but there's clearly, out to my eye, there's something kind of suspicious happening here. $540,000 in 2018 and early 2019. His role included speaking engagements and leadership of the center, but did not involve teaching regular classes. So a few speaking engagements, leadership of the center, what does that mean? Probably nothing. So, I think he's onto something here, right? So you've got all this money from China pouring into the university, and then going from the university to the Penn Biden Center, out of which Biden was paid $900,000. That's not an inconsiderable amount of money. So it's not something surprising. I mean, the fact that it's Biden makes it all the more suspicious is the thing, because everything is suspicious about him. So, yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, it's just a drop in the bucket, it would seem, right? Here's just one more thing. Just one more thing. It seems like you could write several large books about it, about all of the corruption, but there you have it. Did we have anything under here? No. All right.
People say, oh, there's no evidence. Joe Biden, there's no evidence that he's done anything.
Okay, let's move on. So Daniel Penny. So the jury made its judgment, and they decided they weren't going to punish him for being a hero on the subway. I mean, I wonder how many of those people in the jury had themselves been terrorized on the subway. You have to figure, I mean, from all of the stories that you hear, you have to consider it wasn't like none. I wanted to show you something here quickly. Actually, hold on. I think I've got something here. All right, from Wesley Yang, retiree who witnessed the fatal struggle between Daniel Penny and Jordan Neely on the F train, said of Penny that, quote, he's a hero and it was self-defense. And I believe in my heart that he saved a lot of people that day that could have gotten hurt. Let's see, what else we got here? Subway rider thanked Daniel Penny for saving riders from Jordan Neely. All right, then here, new footage shows subway passengers tell police that Daniel Penny acted heroically and respectfully in subduing Jordan Neely. Penny did take him down really respectfully. Yeah, he didn't choke him. So let's go back to here for a second, because I just want to find that footage and show it to you. You've probably seen it already or something close. Here, let's take a look. I think it's around here.
The whole train was freaked out. He was either going to pull a gun, a knife, or
She just said the whole train was freaked out. He was either going to pull a gun, a knife. Let's hear the rest.
And I'm willing to die. I'm willing to die. I'm willing to get
He's saying that he's willing to die.
killed.
Known as the level 1 of Central. Stand for all my
The guy in the tan did take him down very respectfully and just held him down. He wasn't he was just okay. God. It's totally drove down.
You see young ladies right here.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you see?
What did I see? I was sitting up there, I heard the young man that's on the floor saying, you know, hey, I'm willing to die, you know? I'll do anything. I'm willing to die. I'll go to jail. I don't care. I don't care. And he was saying it so loud that everybody turned around. So this young man,
So, to me, it seems fairly clear, right? The jury decided that, yeah, he had done nothing wrong. He wasn't trying to kill Jordan Neely. He was trying to subdue him. He was helped by two other men who don't look like Daniel Penny. And so they weren't charged for some reason because they don't look. We all know why, because they didn't look like him because he's a white man. That's why. If it's reversed, if the roles are reversed, it's nothing, right? But it's him. The city is woke. The DA is woke. It's an issue that is deemed useful politically. So that's what you have. That's what you have when you live in a deep blue woke city, right? That's what you have to consider. That's what you just have to agree to. Unequal treatment. But Daniel Penny now has been interviewed, and let's take a look at what he has to say afterwards.
I mean, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't really extend myself. And like this type of thing is very uncomfortable. All this attention and limelight is very uncomfortable. And I would prefer without it. I didn't want any type of attention or praise, and I still don't. Mm-hmm. The guilt I would have felt if someone did get hurt, if he did do what he was threatening to do, would never be able to live with myself. And I'll take 1 million court appearances and people calling me names and people hating me just to keep one of those people from getting hurt or killed. I mean, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't really.
So, one second. I had one other thing here. Where is it? Give me one sec. Okay. So I want to show you what would have been going through people's minds as that incident was happening. All right. So first off, we'll get to Jordan Neely. Had a significant criminal history with documented crimes, including 42 arrests between 2013 and 2021. Among these, 4 arrests for alleged assault, with one notable incident in November 2021 where he was accused of assaulting a 67-year-old woman, breaking her nose and fracturing her orbital bone. That's a 67-year-old woman. This resulted in Neely pleading guilty to felony assault in exchange for a 15-month alternative to incarceration program from which he absconded, leading to an active warrant for his arrest at the time of his death. So that was housing, right? So the narrative is he's homeless because he couldn't get any help. Well, he had housing and he fled. Right? He had housing and an alternative to incarceration program. So like halfway house, he had housing. He didn't have to be on the street. He fled. That's why there was an arrest out for a warrant for his arrest at the time that this happened. Let's see. Public lewdness, attempted kidnapping in August 2015, where he was seen dragging a 7-year-old girl down an Inwood street. He pleaded guilty to endangering the welfare of a child and was sentenced to 4 months in jail. Really? 4 months? Seen dragging a 7-year-old girl? Jesus. Okay. Well, what else have we got here? Hold on. Let's see. All right. I wanted to show you one more thing. And apparently I don't have it ready. So we'll just go back to here. And I'm going to type in list the serious crimes committed against subway riders in New York before the Jordan Neely incident. Okay. I'm using the X AI Grok quite a bit now. It's actually pretty darn useful. It's pretty good. Let's see. Here are some noticeable serious crimes committed against subway riders in New York City before the Jordan Neely incident. So this is the stuff that would have been in the minds of the people on the subway, in Daniel Penny's mind. This is what's in the minds of the people. So let's make it for the prior 6 months before Neely incident. All right. So these are things that would have been happening very recently. 39-year-old man was charged with shoving a woman's head against a moving subway train in an apparently random attack in a Manhattan station, which left her critically injured. This incident occurred shortly before the Jordan Neely event. And there was a large number of other ones. Now it's not. Show me more events. Hold on. All right. Sometimes you have to give it a few tries before it'll do exactly what you want. Let's see. NYPD released images of 2 suspects involved in unprovoked attacks in Brooklyn and Queens, where riders were punched in the face. Man shoved onto tracks. 64-year-old man was waiting for a downtown A train when an attacker shoved him onto the subway tracks after telling him to throw yourself onto the tracks. Stabbing incident on J train. So these are the sorts of things that would have been in people's minds, right? So this gives you, an insight into why somebody wouldn't why the people on the train, why Daniel Penny and why the other people on the train would have been scared, because they know that the worst does happen, right? The jury agreed that he was not trying to kill anybody and that it was justified. That should be the end of it, but no. Here, the NAACP, the acquittal of Daniel Penny in the death of Jordan Neely, has effectively given license for vigilante justice to be waged on the Black community without consequence. So they don't care. Like, these activist organizations just don't care, right? It's a painful reminder of the inequities in our justice system. Jordan deserved compassion. Instead, he was met with violence. We stand with his family in calling for accountability. The people on the train had good reason to be frightened for their safety, perhaps for their lives. Let's see. Community notes. Community notes is great, right? I'm loving community notes. Daniel Penny did not act alone in defending himself and others from Neely. A black man can be clearly seen assisting Penny to subdue Neely. A black woman testified in defense of Penny. There is no evidence that Penny was motivated by race. But like, if you're the NAACP, you've got to fundraise, right? You got to find things to fundraise off. This is one of those things you can fundraise off. What else have we got? Let's see. Rabbit hole. Community notes is a good way to stop BLM hoaxes from taking off. Jordan Neely doesn't seem like someone who deserves public sympathy, but that won't stop woke activists from trying to lionize this guy. Well, it's an industry. It's the woke industry, right? Tiffany Caban. Jordan Neely deserved better than the violence of being denied access to stable housing and health care, and then dehumanized for it. Okay, well, Community Notes is right on top of this, by the way. Jordan Neely deserved better than the systems that allow for and justify extrajudicial white supremacist violence against black people. Either is lying or knows nothing about the case. Readers added context. As part of a plea agreement with prosecutors after he punched a 67-year-old woman in the street in 2021, Jordan Neely was given free access to stable housing and health care at a treatment facility in the Bronx. He abandoned the facility after 13 days. And that's not going to raise much money. That's not going to raise much oppression bucks, right? That's not going to get people angry and have them sending in checks to deal with the oppression, right? What does she say? This deserve better than the systems that allow for and justify. What are the systems exactly, right? Democrats run all these systems, right? Systemic racism. What is that exactly? Like, it must be a law, right? It has to be a law, right? Like, what's the law exactly? What's the rule? Oh, there aren't any? Well, what is it then? Oh, well, it's the system. It's the system. Okay, yeah, but what is that exactly? They don't have an answer. Extrajudicial white supremacist violence against black people. What did we just see? A black man can be clearly seen assisting Penny to subdue Neely. A black woman testified in defense of Penny. Don't care. That's not going to raise any money. Or maybe it's just the woke mind virus doesn't care, right? No. We're the woke mind virus wants to spread itself. It doesn't care about right or wrong or reality or fantasy, any of that. It just wants to keep living. It wants to keep going and spreading itself and reproducing itself in more and more unstable, emotionally unstable, weak minds. You see this. These are the people that call other people radicalized, right? Just don't care. Just don't care about reality. CNN panelist compares Daniel Penny to the United Healthcare CEO shooting suspect.
Later in the night, we're also going to talk about Penny and the verdict there. Mm-hmm. There you also have a victim who somebody determined did not deserve to continue living, right?
No.
Yeah, tell me which vigilante action is okay.
One is being proactive, right? So this kid who executed a guy walking away from him, shot him in the back, for no reason whatsoever. Daniel Penny is a hero. You can say anything you want. Talk to people who ride the subway every day. Because I do all the time. So I can't find anyone who rides the subway who's unhappy about this verdict.
Well, later in the night, we're also going to talk about Penny and the verdict there. Mm-hmm. There you also have a victim who somebody determined did not deserve to continue living, right?
No.
This is insane. For one thing, he wasn't charged with premeditated murder. I mean, were they paying attention at all? Do they know anything? Is everything they say, all of their opinions, is it just handed to them on a piece of paper by a producer before the show? This is truly astonishing stuff. You have a bunch of people trapped on a subway car with a guy threatening to kill them. Then you have a good Samaritan, right? You have a good guy with the help of two other good guys, subdue that person so that he can't follow through on his threat of killing people, these old people on the train, right? Comparing that, trying to draw a parallel with that, with somebody hunting somebody down and gunning them down on the street. I mean, can they be that stupid? Is it just a paycheck? Is it just a producer handed her a piece of paper that's had that narrative on it, and she says, yep, this is what I think now. Sure love money. I absolutely love money. It's truly bizarre. This this is parallel universe stuff. Like, you have to pinch yourself. Like, is this real? Is this some sort of a weird dream? Do these people think you're really that stupid?
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
tell
no,
me. Tell
no,
me which
that's
tell
not-
me which vigilante action is okay.
One is being proactive, right? So this kid who
It's just total. Which vigilante? As if these are totally equal things, right? Nobody's even suggesting that Daniel Penny wanted Jordan Neely to die. That wasn't even a part of the case, right? Accidental or reckless. And I mean, I guess they, I don't know. I can't decide whether it's stupidity, whether it's just total ignorance, just don't care, or lying for money, or a bit of both, probably a bit of both. I don't know. Let's see. Let's head to the, I just want to see who's joined us. Let's see. So we got Jesse, we got Rosie. How you doing, Rosie? All right. Wow, it's quiet in here tonight. Where's everybody? Where the hell is everyone? What happened? All right. All right. Anyway, let's continue with this. Man, it's quiet tonight. Very quiet. But we'll continue on. I'm sure everybody will show up eventually. Let's see. All right. So here we have the race hustlers who just don't care about reality, obviously. Here's in New York. So, unhinged New York City race hustler during a protest against the Daniel Penny not guilty. Doesn't matter. Innocent, not innocent, whatever. Pure tribalism. And I think just pure race hustling. It's a way to get attention. The people that she's ranting to don't care about reality, don't care what's real, don't actually care about justice. They care about social justice, which is not justice. That's just the will of the bigoted mob, is what that is. But let's continue.
So all the white people here, y'all got work to do. Stay the fuck out of black people business. Go in your neighborhood. Do the anti-blackness work in there. I don't need your opinion. I don't need no Marxist bullshit. Okay. I can read black Marxism on my own. Y'all read 275.
I love that. Black Marxism. You know, he didn't like you. Have you seen the things that he wrote about you, Karl Marx? Have you seen them? You might want to reconsider. I mean, aside from the fact that it's idiotic, that it's an idiotic, ridiculous, totally obviously failed ideology. Have you not read any history books whatsoever? Have you not read about what happens in these societies whatsoever? Have you read nothing? Have you paid no attention? Maybe you shouldn't be lecturing people.
5 years in English before we was. Right. Go in your own communities and correct this bullshit. And stay out of our fucking business. Thank you. Because the white people on that jury didn't give a fuck about.
Okay, here's the problem, is that Jordan Neely was getting in everybody else's business. Right? They were trapped on the train with him while he was being insane and threatening to kill people. So I don't know. I mean, have you not really heard about what happened? Have you not really paid any attention? It shows you they don't care. These people, these hustlers, they don't care. They don't give a shit about reality. It's all just grifting and tribalism. What's going on here? So this was all last night.
Hey, Russ, tonight, goddammit. Y'all make sure y'all get home, get rest. I'm going to fly. Y'all make sure y'all come out tonight. They gonna hear us fucking tonight. Goddammit. Y'all gonna get y'all money tonight. Y'all gonna get y'all money's worth tonight, motherfuckers. Yeah. Load that shit up. Y'all gonna get y'all money's worth tonight.
Money's worth. I would pay nothing. Exactly nothing for that.
No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No. Hey, Russ.
They must mean something else by the word justice. He must mean something else by the word justice. I don't know. You know, I think the thing is, though, he actually does mean something else than what you would mean by the word justice, or what I would mean by the word justice, right? Because when we say justice, there's some expectation of fairness, right? There's some intrinsic fairness to a result. He doesn't want that. He wants an innocent man to go to prison for purely tribalistic reasons, right? That's what social justice is. Social justice is equity, not equality. There's no fairness in it, right? It doesn't matter. The quality of the outcome doesn't matter, right? It's just getting the social justice outcome. And it's always the same. Let's see what else we got here. BLM's response after Daniel Penny was cleared of all charges. What does this angel have to say?
CHIVONA-NEWSOME. I'm the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Greater New York, and I'm a devout Christian. And in my Bible, thou shalt not kill. In the Torah, thou shalt not kill. In Buddhism, not kill a living thing. But America has no moral, no soul. Our bloods have paved the streets of this nation since its inception. It was foolish of us to think that a Black man would get justice in the system designed to. My heart bleeds for the Neely family. My heart bleeds for his father, who sat in front of me every single day and prayed for justice for his son. There is no one coming to save Black people.
Yeah, they have a different understanding of the word justice. They have a different meaning for the word justice, right? Whoever's giving her money needs to just stop. Whoever's giving her money to do this just needs to stop, right? You can't have a functional society run by these rules, run by these tribalist rules. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. They were Black people on the train. He was helped by a Black man to subdue. Daniel Penny was helped by two non-white men to subdue Jordan Neely because he was a danger to everybody on the train. He was perceived as a danger. He was threatening to kill people, and he was out of his mind. Whoever's giving this person money needs to stop, because you can't run a society this way. It's lunacy. So NYPD is already arresting BLM lunatics outside the courthouse where Daniel Penny was found innocent. This would never have happened in 2020 because BLM had free reign to do whatever they pleased, but not again. It wasn't just that they had free reign, they were encouraged to, right? Kamala Harris herself. Kamala Harris.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
She was asking people to donate to bail funds for looters, for arsonists, for robbers, for people who had assaulted other people or killed other people, right? They didn't just have free reign. They were encouraged. It was facilitated. They were the Democrats' paramilitary force. And it was deemed politically expedient to just encourage them and give them free reign, but not just that, encourage them. Encourage the destruction. The $2 billion worth of destruction. $2 billion with a B. But it seems like now, let's watch this.
Wait, Joe, wait, all right, hold on.
The police are putting a lid on it this time. They're not letting the paramilitary loose this time. So why is that? We saw the same thing in Seattle. Antifa went out. They were getting ready. They thought it was going to be another summer of love, right? On election night, they thought it was going to be another summer of love. They got cracked down on immediately. The police were ready, and they stopped them. They could have done that in 2020. They chose not to. The powers that be chose not to. This time, they're putting a lid on it. They're not letting out their paramilitary. Will they? Maybe on Inauguration Day, they'll let them out. They'll let them go. Who knows? But right now, they're not. They consider it to be not politically expedient to do so, not beneficial to them politically, so they're not letting them go. And that's interesting, isn't it? Rupa Subramanya, the pendulum is finally swinging back in America towards common sense, justice, and equality for all, and that's equality for all, not equity, which is communism. Equality for all, regardless of race and ethnicity. Hopefully, the days of toxic garbage left dominance are behind us. Hashtag Daniel Penny. We shall see. Western Lensman, one example of the deranged legacy media narratives about Daniel Penny when he was charged. So let's hear this. So she was trying to set the scene for chaos and racial hatred and division.
Never mind that Daniel Penny has not, at least as of now, volunteered to be the right's next George Zimmerman or Kyle Rittenhouse, two vigilante heroes of the right who are beloved and famous among Republicans solely for killing people who they believe need killing and getting acquitted for it at trial. Armed conservative must be heavily armed and empowered to kill at will with your handgun, your AR-15, or even with your bare hands. Anyone who makes you feel threatened or uncomfortable anywhere, anytime, at your front door, in your driveway, driving by a Black Lives Matter.
So what she's describing there is a world where you can just kill anybody because you feel uncomfortable at any time. Right? They just look at you, you can shoot them. I felt uncomfortable. That's what she's describing. That's the reality that she's apparently living in, or pretends that she's living in, and that she wants her audience to believe they're living in.
At a rally on the terrifying, scary, black man-filled New York subway. And the people who tend to need killing just happen to be black or brown.
And he just happened to be out of his mind on drugs and threatening to kill the people that were trapped on the subway car with them.
Or suffering from mental health crises, or white, but just a little too cozy with BLM. And killing them is not just your right, Republican citizen. Doing it makes you a hero. Never mind that Daniel Penny has not.
Just truly astonishing. She's talking about like Zimmerman and Rittenhouse self-defense cases, proven in court self-defense cases. She's talking about subduing somebody who was threatening to kill somebody, to kill people that were trapped on a subway train with him. Yet she weaves this narrative of it's just crazy people, conservatives, white people, just murdering anybody who makes them the slightest bit uncomfortable all the time. She's an agent of chaos, right? This is a Bolshevik right here, I think. Either that or she's just been so corrupted by her position and by wealth that she will say anything. Either way, this is an evil person in my mind. This is an evil person who doesn't care what the consequences are. I mean, if her ideology, if what she pushes really catches on, right? You're talking about an enormous amount of people dying and society being brought to its knees, because she's essentially advocating for total chaos, total chaos and revolution. I don't know what else you can say about this. She's painting her own country as a place where white people can just kill everybody at will if they're the slightest bit uncomfortable. This feels like revolutionary rhetoric to me. Anyway, let's continue. And then we'll get to the chat in a minute. MSNBC says the quiet part out loud. They see this as a case that is about social justice, racial justice in New York City. Not justice, social justice, completely different thing. Racial justice, completely different thing. This is really, you should call it equity justice. The entire spectacle of a trial was about race. If the races were reversed, Daniel Penny never would have been charged. That's true. That's from Libs of TikTok, because there was a similar case where you reverse the races and that guy wasn't charged. So there is precedent for it.
And then others, you may be able to hear behind me here that there's a crowd of protesters that have gathered here to support Jordan Neely. They see this as a case that is about social justice, racial justice in New York City, the lack of support for people suffering with mental health challenges, the lack of support for people who
maybe the reality is it's just a case about there was a crazy guy who had been arrested over 40 times, punched a 67-year-old lady in the face, tried to kidnap a 7-year-old girl, right? Who was threatening to kill people that were trapped on a subway car with him. And then 3 men, one of whom was white, the only one charged being white, subdued him to prevent him from trying to kill the people on the train. Maybe it was just about that. Maybe in a sane world, it's just about that. Apparently, the jury was sane enough to come to that conclusion. Here we have more from Andy No. BLM New York calls for vengeance from black vigilantes after the acquittal of Daniel Penny in Manhattan. Thing is, these people, if they were forced to live in a society where real justice, actual objective justice didn't matter, where fairness didn't matter, because that's what they're advocating for. They're advocating for a world where fairness or reason or logic don't matter, right? It's all just about emotion and tribalism. They would not enjoy living in that world either. But this is what has been cultivated by mainstream media, right? But let's, especially during, the riots of 2020.
We need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud.
Well, nobody did that to you. And it wasn't about being loud. It's about threatening to kill the people on the subway. I mean, we've already established this, haven't we? Haven't we, folks? We've already established this. He was threatening that he was going to kill somebody on the subway. Three men subdued him. And then Jordan Neely died afterwards. It was not an intentional homicide. Nobody was trying to kill him. They were just trying to subdue him. That's already been established.
How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Right.
I'm tired. We need some black vigilantes.
So he wants to kill white people. That's his solution. What is the mainstream media going to say about this exactly? This is on ABC News. Why is this far left extremism? I wonder. Is it far left extremism? I wonder if anybody in the media has mentioned that. All right, so we've already covered all of that. And we took a look at all this. So, yeah, there we have it. Jordan Neely found innocent by a jury of his peers in New York City. And we should also mention that coming to that verdict as a jury member in New York does not come without risk. Right? There are radicals and extremists aplenty. They're all over the place. They've been cultivated. They've been cultivated by their own political class, by the people they've been voting in forever. So that doesn't come without risk. I'm sure they could hear the people outside ranting and raving, right? The angry people outside ranting and raving didn't care about justice, real justice, or reality, just wanted to get their way. So that tells you something. What it tells you, the reaction to this shows you that kind of Bolshevik revolutionary spirit is pretty strong, right? Like, again, the police have kept a lid on it. They didn't just let them loose. They didn't let the paramilitary loose this time. They've put a lid on it. For how long they'll keep that lid on? The paramilitary, the Democrat paramilitary, the BLM, the Antifa, I don't know. But a good thing happened. But this was a good result. This was actual justice. But you also have to keep in mind that sometimes the process is the punishment, right? So it's not like, hey, self-defense is legal in New York City now. Yeah, maybe you won't get convicted. Maybe you won't get sent to jail, but you'll be put through hell. You'll definitely be put through hell. And how many people are going to want to go through that exactly? Even without the conviction. Because everything you have to go through up until that point is a punishment all its own. So anyway, let's move on and let's get to the chat. All right. Let's see. Rosie says Penny, a U.S. veteran, used his arms as a weapon to subdue a man who was mentally stressed. Wonder when assault arms will be banned. Probably. It'll come to Canada first. Do you think Canada will confiscate people's arms? Oh, you're one step ahead of me. Do you think Canada will confiscate people's arms and send them? Yeah, probably. I'm sure Trudeau's drawing up a bill right now to confiscate people's arms and send them to Ukraine. Their actual arms. Let's see. Jesse says, vigilantes happen when you defund the police. Didn't think that one through, did you? Well, the thing about this case is that the whole thing, like the whole reaction against it, is all just based on lies. He's a poor homeless person. Well, he had a stable living arrangement, and he left after 13 days. He didn't want to be there. Sometimes it's not society. Right? Sometimes society can't fix somebody. But anyway, let's get back. What else are you guys saying? Let's see. Rosie says, how was it decided to bring charges? It's political. Was all that video suppressed? Because the most recently released video give a summary of relieved people. Yeah. No, it's purely political. Purely political. Jesse says, major change in public sentiment, especially in New York. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, Holly, how you doing? Good to see you in the chat. Let's see. Let's see. Holly says, I do agree with activists being sprayed with blue paint. This happens where I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Rosie says, remember, Daniel Penny was professionally trained to assess a threat and meet it with appropriate defense. People should thank God Daniel Penny is not racist. He would not have engaged if he was. Interesting point there. Turtle says he was a Marine. And also the police didn't perform CPR. Now, that's true. And they didn't want to because they were worried about disease. Because homeless drug addict. Right? So, again, that maybe they should have been mad at the police. Right? But I don't know. I mean, look, if you got people trapped into an enclosed space with you and you're threatening to kill them, like what happens next? It's kind of like, like don't do that I guess is my point. Don't threaten to kill people that are trapped in an enclosed space with you. Not a good idea. All right. So let's get to Canada here from Brian Lilly. If you watch this video opening, you will wonder why anyone would take Rachel Gilmore seriously. Her presentation is juvenile. The substance linking the Freedom Convoy to Putin invading Ukraine is ridiculous. All right. So Rachel Gilmore she was a reporter for Global News in Canada. She was fired for being terrible. Now she just makes 60-second videos. As far as I can tell, 60-second videos on TikTok. She is a truanon. She is a trutard. She will be she's just a full-on leftist and is, as far as I can tell, a complete and total idiot. who knows nothing about anything, just knows which way the wind is blowing in her own bubble. So let's take a look here. And by the way, it was the CBC that first floated the idea that maybe Putin was responsible for the Freedom Convoy. I mean, they still haven't really stopped, obviously. I mean, listen to this. It's just one of those things you'd think they'd be embarrassed to throw this stuff out. The Russia stuff still. After all this time, you'd think they'd be embarrassed after it's been so discredited. But nope, apparently not. They got nothing else. These aren't very creative people.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for having me. This is obviously a very important topic, and I have some big feelings about it.
Then maybe you shouldn't behave as if you're making a TikTok video, maybe, if it's so serious.
So to kick things off, I'm sure you all remember the Freedom Convoy, yeah? Well, as part of my coverage at the time, I joined several Telegram channels and groups where organizers and supporters gathered to exchange everything from planning details to fringe conspiracy theories. And you might not have realized this.
Oh, fringe conspiracy theories. Fringe conspiracy theories.
Small fringe minority.
Fringe conspiracy theories, like Putin was responsible for the Freedom Convoy. Do you mean like that? I don't think she means like that. But let's continue.
But it was actually just days after the convoy. Actually, you guys probably do know this. Just days after the convoy that Russia invaded Ukraine. Hey, everyone.
Oh, well, obviously they're connected. Obviously, Russia timed it perfectly. I mean, maybe if it hadn't been for the freedom, probably, if it hadn't been for the Freedom Convoy, Russia never would have invaded Ukraine in the first place. Because I'm retarded. That's why. What is going on here? How is this? The Canadian government is a joke. It is pathetic to put this person who has no credibility whatsoever. This person isn't an expert on anything. This person's an expert on making TikTok videos that nobody watches. This person's an expert at getting fired from corporate media. Like, this person isn't an expert at anything. I mean, you have to be pretty bad to get fired from corporate media, right? And it's not because she was throwing truth bombs either, right? No, she's just an idiot. This is so utterly ridiculous that this would be the quality that the Canadian government would be looking for, that the Liberals would be looking for testimony, for expert testimony. This is pathetic. Pathetic. I mean, just embarrassing. Embarrassing. But you know what? She'll say, she will. What the government needs is people to say idiotic nonsense as if they believe it, as if it's true. And she's willing to do that, so there she is. And she's got a clip now for her TikTok account that nobody will watch. If you watch this video opening, you will wonder why anyone would take Rachel Gilmore seriously. Why is she in front of the government saying this? Why does the government have her out there? Why? Well, it doesn't reflect well on them. I'll just say that. How embarrassing. What's this? Here's Jagmeet Singh, leader of the NDP. The Canadians watching this will know who we're talking about. NDP is the essentially socialist party of Canada, more socialist than the Liberals. And the Liberals, so Justin Trudeau and he are competing to see who can be the biggest woke dingbat. But let's see what he has. Let's see what's going on here.
I don't want a Liberal government. I don't want Justin Trudeau as Prime Minister.
We have absolutely ripped up the agreement with Justin Trudeau.
Justin Trudeau is playing political games, and the only person that's winning is himself.
He has come across very out of touch. He's ignored a lot of the problems people are going through. People are absolutely fed up with and done with Justin Trudeau and the Liberals.
The Liberals have let people down again and again, and they are done. Why are you working with Justin Trudeau when he's doing such a bad job? I got to tell you, it is not easy.
We're ready for whenever election comes. We're going to vote against any measure that attacks working people. is we're going to be voting in favor of the budget. I've received some openness to fixing the problems that I've outlined. And we're not going to let the Liberal government off the hook. The next election, people have a choice. I stand by my words. Trudeau has let you down. Trudeau has let you down and does not deserve another choice. And it's really clear to me, there's mounting evidence that Justin Trudeau and the Liberals were just too weak. I stand by my words. Trudeau has let you down. Trudeau has let you down and does not deserve another choice.
You know, it was funny that Pierre Poilievre actually drafted a no confidence motion that would have triggered a new election to get rid of Trudeau, as he claims that he wants to get rid of Jagmeet Singh there. But he drafted a no confidence motion using Jagmeet Singh's own words. Jagmeet still voted against it. It's just a clown show at this point. It's a joke. It's pathetic. You've got one pathetic loser propping up another, and the rest of the country has to suffer because of it. It's a joke. Jagmeet Singh won't call an election. Well, that's obvious. Why? Because he works for Trudeau, who guarantees him a pension next year. Trudeau gets power. Singh gets his pension. You get the bill. Canada, it's really a sad state right now. It's pathetic. We'll get into more of that as we go. All right. For those of you who missed it earlier, you ready for the dog reveal? The dog reveal. We're still missing a bunch of people tonight, but you know, we're an hour in, so I feel like I should do a dog reveal. We'll have to do more so everybody can see. Maybe everybody else will show up a little bit later. We'll have to see. All right. You guys ready? Well, tell me if you want the dog reveal. I'll do it right now. Rosie says, yes, doggy. Okay, here we go. So is this the dog? It's not the dog. Do you know how you can tell it's not the new dog? Because it's not this. I just find that hilarious. I just had the idea, and I thought that just feels like a real Radio Baloney live way of doing the dog reveal. And it worked, and everybody agreed, and Princess Baloney agreed. And I don't know, I just think that's really fun. Hey, G Flood, good to see you. Anyway, that's the new dog. He's a great little dog, by the way. He's awesome. Rosie says, wow, nice manicure. Anyway. Let's see. Jesse says, the way she talks, ugh. Yeah, you're talking about Rachel Gilmore there. Ugh. Rosie says, not to be mean, but actually is mean. I cannot hear her from my mind shouting, elocution coach. Elocution coach. It's not going to help. Let's see. Rosie says, love the Carmina Burana in the background. Nice catch there. Let's see. Rosie says, dog reveal 10 out of 10. Not 12 out of 10. Turtle says, I miss the dog. Jesse says, I can see how those ears would turn inside out. Funny. Yeah. He's a good dog. He's just a very calm, nice little guy. I like him. He's fit in very, very well. He seems very happy here. All right. I think that we are an hour and 7 minutes in. I think it's time to cut off the YouTube portion of the stream. Unfortunately, we always start both on Rumble and YouTube at the same time, but because of censorship reasons and all kinds of back-end issues with all kinds of frivolous, copyright claims and stuff, with YouTube, it ends up becoming a nightmare if I let it go too long. So we have it go an hour, and then I cut it off. Then I cut off StalinTube, and that's what I'm going to do right now. If you're watching right now on YouTube, please come over to Rumble. Just take a quick little jaunt over to the Rumble app, and you can watch the rest of the show. We'll be doing at least another probably hour and a half, something like that. So join us over there. Hope to see you. Otherwise, I'll see you on Friday night. Ah.